Hello and welcome back to another Mike Duffy Goes Running YouTube video with me, Mike Duffy. Today it is Saturday, or better known as ParkRun Day, and I'm going to be ticking off a new one today. So I'm driving about half an hour away from where I live. I'm doing my NENDI, which for those that don't know what I'm talking about, NENDI in parkrun terms stands for nearest event not done yet, I believe, or that's what it should stand for if it doesn't. So mine is Belton House, which for any sort of series buffs, if you like Bridgerton, the spin-off, Queen Charlotte I believe it's called, well that's where it was filmed. It's in Grantham, so like I say, about half an hour away from me. Bit of a frosty start this morning though. I wasn't quite expecting the frost. Let me just turn the camera round, and as you can see there, 1.5 degrees, you know, windscreens needing scraping, so it's gonna be a pretty frosty one. This vlog might not see the light of day, to be honest, because I don't know how I'm going to film whilst I'm running. I don't really feel comfortable sort of getting my phone out whilst I'm running, and yeah, still sort of getting over the social anxiety of having to vlog out in public. It's all right when you're doing it on the canals because there's no one around, but the fact that there'll be hundreds of other park runners makes it a little bit more awkward. But we'll see. If you're watching this, then I've decided to go ahead with it, obviously. So yeah, it's about half an hour away, so I should get there bang on 8:30 in time for the runner's first time brief. And yeah, well, I'll show you a few shots of the place when I'm there, because apparently it's meant to be very, very nice. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So I've arrived at Belton House, there it is. One of the National Trust sites as well, I believe. So I'm going to familiarise myself with the place. Probably visit the toilet this time. You might be watching thinking, why is he telling us that? But last week at ParkRun, I was bursting for a wee the whole way round, and it was the most uncomfortable thing in the world. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. So yeah, there it is in all its beauty, Belton House. So I'm back in the car. I must admit, before I go any further, I have obviously decided to put this out because I said I didn't know whether I was going to. I only got 2 videos. It is extremely hard when you haven't got a GoPro to try and vlog a run and do it with just your phone and not having a GoPro. So I hope to have a GoPro come Friday, meaning it will be available to me in the March run, which is the Wolverhampton 10K. A bit too close to home for the Watford 10K next Sunday, I think. So to start with, I thought, right, I felt really good actually. It's the first time I've turned up to a park run. You know, my head's clear. I feel absolutely great. I'm not bursting for the toilet this week as well. You know, all helps. So I'm sort of stood there, do the first runner's brief, and then I'm ready to start. We start, and I've had this at one of a park run, because there's that many people there, and I don't think you use a megaphone or anything, that you're just starting. And the problem is, I would say it's a problem, it's not a problem as in, you know, you shouldn't do this, but if you want to get an accurate or as close to an accurate time with ParkRun, if you start at the back like I do, you're at a disadvantage, because there wasn't a sign to say this is the start point. So technically, if you want the most accurate time, you start your watch as soon as you cross the start line, and then you stop it as soon as you hit the finish line. Well, for me, I always just start it when everyone in front of me starts running. So then it might be a few sort of 100 yards to actually the start line itself. So that was a bit of an issue. And then honestly, the first bit, there was the tiniest bit of incline, and I started getting heart palpitations. Now, I had to read up on this because obviously the reason I'm going to get them a lot is because I'm massively unfit and I am overweight, but it was happening a bit too often. So as everyone does, you Google it, you find out you're probably going to die in 2 weeks' time, you panic a bit, and then you sort of get over it. But when I was Googling it said that heart palpitations can happen if you're dehydrated, if you've got a lack of sleep and any stress. Well, other than the football, I've got nothing to be stressed about. Lack of sleep, my 1-year-old cat has decided he wants to start waking me up at 5 a.m. every morning for the last 2 weeks. And believe you me, he doesn't let up at weekends because he was meowing his head off at 5 this morning. So that's probably not great that I'm in that rhythm. But dehydration, definitely. I am a bit of an idiot. I've not brought a drink with me. I always advise to take a drink with you. I can never run with one, but at least have one in the car waiting for you when you've finished. So yeah, I started and I was like, uh-oh, maybe I'm not as ready as I thought. And then it sort of evened out and it was very flat along the way. Then it hit a little bit of a dip in my favour, and then it was grass and it was bumpy, and I was like, right, but I actually felt really, really good out there. So if you're looking for a park run and you maybe just started and you're sort of hoping to progress a little bit and maybe you want a personal best, I advise Belton Park because it is very good. The only thing is I don't particularly like running on grass, and I was very lucky today actually because the grass itself wasn't that long and it was mud, but it was very firm underfoot, so it wasn't like you were slipping like I did Kingsbury ParkRun once, and oh my word, Kingsbury Water Park I should say, sorry, and it was I think a couple of weeks after the floods when back in December time, and oh my word, I might as well have took my ice skates with me and skated round because I was slipping. It was horrible. And you know that feeling of when you're having a dream and you're trying to run away from someone but you're running really slowly? I mean, that's generally me anyway, but it was like double the time of that. So yeah, very firm underfoot, so don't worry. Obviously if they've had a lot of rain, it might be a bit of an issue. I've been quite lucky. Yes, it was frosty this morning, but overall it was quite firm on the ground. So really, really happy with today's. Didn't quite get my sub 40 that I'm aiming for at the moment. I did add another run into January though. So as of today, which is the 25th of January, I have run a total of 19.5 miles. And there's still 6 days left of January, and I intend to run 3 times next week. I intend to run a little run tomorrow, just on a Sunday. Always like to try and squeeze 3 runs in. Done it again, and I started on a Wednesday. I have to get over this mental state of getting home from work on a Monday and just being like, ugh, I have to get out on a Monday to break it up nice and evenly. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave it a like, leave it a comment as well. And hit subscribe as well, because I know I keep saying this in my videos, but I really am trying to push the content out at the moment. And once I've got some better equipment and everything else, I'll be able to do a lot more. So I'm really, really looking forward to some of the runs I've got coming up. Next Sunday, as I say, the Watford 10K for my first 2025 10K. So yeah, really, really looking forward to it. But thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and until next time, come on.